Good evening and welcome to the review of the last four races tonight. As was indicated in the first part of the review this evening, the rain has continued to come. It did chop up the track pretty bad. They were running well outside standard, and towards the end of the night, the inside was obviously an advantage. Um, Race five, Plain Red Banner jumped well, took up a nice position. It was travelling well to the turn and had them covered a fair way out. He did have to do a little bit of shunting up on the inside to get it through, but it was tough to the line. It was a good win. Riyadh ran on nicely, copped a little bit of interference around the 300. He had to pull it out a bit, but it closed off nicely. It's ready to win now. It'll probably be going close next start. Super Tiger, never really sighted in this, was back in the field. It weaved the passage coming to the corner, but it was never really going to play a part. One's Fortune, another one, they dragged it back to last. They weren't running on from back there tonight. It was just far too hard. It plodded home okay, probably give it one more chance, I would think. Spurs on. Now, there was a bit of money for this tonight, probably because of the wet track. It didn't really do much. It battled on. It was a fairly ordinary run. Out of these, probably the winner was probably the best run of the lot, Plain Red Banner. Race six went as expected. Bundle of Joy was just way too good for these. And had them went forward, sat outside the lead, probably at around the 350. The race was all over. It was never going to lose. It was short, but it was pretty soft win. Nobody But You. It looked a reasonable chance against this on paper, but the moment the gates opened, it was slow away. Then he drove it up along the fence, trying to get it onto the speed. It battled on okay, but it was never really going to run a place. It's run fourth or fifth just behind them. Amadeo dragged it back from the wide gate. Really, just went around like a trial, so we'll forget about that run. It was a big price. Should get a big price about it next time, but happy to follow it up. Wait for it to draw a barrier. 1,000 metre race at the Valley. We'll have another go. Of the rest, probably the best run was Skyfar. Got a long way back. It was a little bit green in the straight and ran on really well. Croesus, it came in for a bit of support, obviously, because Douglas White was riding it. It had no hope. It just battled at the back of the field, and that was really the end of it. Race 7, interesting race on paper. Shiny Day, he went hard early. He was trapped wide, finally got to the lead after about 450, 500. Started to slow the tempo, which is what we wanted him to do, and then naturally Douglas with Turbo Jewelry, which I don't know, was a terrific ride from barrier 3. He managed to get it 3 and 4 wide. He then went forward and attacked and drove the thing crazy to the corner. It hung out in the straight, Shiny Day. It never gives it away, this horse. It's a pretty tough horse, and they nailed it right in the last bound. It was a good run. Indigo Way, they just rode this completely upside down. Never in its life does it go forward, and it's sitting up third on the speed. It was gone at the corner. So that was the bodgy run. But it had no wet track form, so they probably just rode it upside down and just put the duck egg next to its form. Of the rest, Jolly Victor was never really in the race. Went well back on the turn. He couldn't make any ground from there. Racing Hero, it was travelling really well coming to the corner, and then it hit a flat spot at around the 250 and struggled. He eased it down later. I don't think there was anything wrong with it. I think it just probably needed the hit out. Of the rest, Forgive and Forget was winding up very nicely. Late was a decent run. The rest of them, not much chance. The last race, King's Pack settled on the speed. It battled on quite strongly late. Blossom Darley did the same. It was up on the pace. The winner with Noble the Best was well back, 5 back the rails. When they come around the corner, they fanned. He pushed up behind it and then got a clear run through. Copped a little check at around the 300. He pushed it out a bit wide. And he just kept coming. It was a decent win. It was strong late. It was a nice win. Handled the wet track. Of the rest, King's Pack, pretty ordinary run. It was travelling really well coming to the corner, and they just gave it away. I think it's got a bit of dog in it, this thing. We won't be going for it again this season, I don't think, unless it drops into an absolute field of rubbish. It's pretty weak. Cultural City, it's had enough for this season. I think we'll probably spell it now. But its racing pattern coming from last was made it difficult for it. Of the rest, Goalland Dancer, he went forward again on this. I firmly believe we'll see the best of this one night when they miss the kick and settle back. It'll come home hard. We'll wait for it. It was a tough night. As it's panned out, our decision to pass was the correct one. Had we have poked our nose in and played the treble, yes, we had the anchor in the first leg. They would have cleaned us up in the second leg, although we would have had the last. We would have probably done our money, in all honesty. The rest of the card we didn't like, so we were never ever going to consider playing anything else. We go to Sha Tin on Saturday the 11th, Happy Valley next Wednesday the 15th, and then the 18th back to Sha Tin. I think this Saturday at Sha Tin we have a DT jackpot expected to get to about 9 million, and it'll be on the last DT, as it was the jackpot from the last, so I assume that's where they'll put it. They're usually the best races of the day towards the end of the day, so we shouldn't have too many issues in relation to unraced or anything like that. I hope you had a successful evening. Good luck to everybody in the next few days in your punting, and look forward to the next preview, which I'll probably post on Friday evening. Good luck to you guys. Thank you very much.